Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Gooners podcast. Of course, we are doing back-to-back episodes because we have been gone for quite some time, and we have the second group, as we mentioned in the previous one, like about the season preview, and we've got Ellen back with us. Hi, Ellen.
Hi Picasso, hi Eben.
Hi, Eben. He said hi, Eben, before I introduced. That's
Hello, all. Good to be
so.
back.
No, the
Okay.
podcast like Ave Gooners, right, will not be like a usual podcast if somebody doesn't disturb you in between.
Yes, that's our long last tradition. Bob usually does it or Arun does it, but now Ellen has joined the group where they disturb my intro. But if you haven't started putting your your predictions in the sheet, I've attached the sheet to the link, and the episode's already out in like Spotify and YouTube and any listening platform that you listen to. So go ahead and put your predictions in the sheet so that we could have like an interactive session of this whole thing. I mean, at least for the sake of like, coming back to me at the end of the season and going, haha, I predicted it right? And as always, please do like, share, subscribe, comment in, and reach out to us if you want to be part of this group. If you want to come in and discuss about Arsenal, or to scold us, or to um, you know, I don't know, whatever. So with that out of the way, we'll start with the season predictions. We have been doing it in the sheet, but before I share the sheet, right? Like I just wanna ask both of you like some of the season level questions. First, I'll start with Eben. Eben, I asked this with the other group and created like a big conversation piece within that group, which was that now that we have been with Arteta, we have finished this second and all those things. Are you trusting the process now?
Yes, definitely. To be frank, I've always been trusting the process, but I think more so now because we are seeing things basically getting translated into results, and where we are finishing, we've been basically climbing the ladder up the Premier League table. So anybody who doesn't trust the process now, they have to give an explanation, not somebody who's trusting the process. Simple as that.
That is, Ellen, if I have to ask the same question, are you trusting the process?
Definitely. Like, see, last year itself we had seen, right? Like, see, we were worried about only one thing about Arteta's like tactical flexibility. And like we saw some of that like coming into fiction last year too. And like with the changes or the persons we have got so far, right? It looks like there is a plan. See, when did we last got like all these signings before August? That itself shows like there's a process working.
When did
And
we
like
get signings? That should be a separate question.
and that too like our targets we were getting, it's not like we planned for somebody and we got somebody like who's like a replica or like a junior version of that same kind of player. It is not like that. We are getting our targets, so that clearly shows that like these are transfers that are not planned like once or like immediately at the end of the season or something. This is like as part of a process that has been in plan for some time, and like they are like getting those targets.
I'm
So
gonna cut that
definitely.
part and create a separate video. Like, is Ellen attacking Manchester United for getting whatever the Haaland replica, or like I'm gonna put that as a video and promote it so that people watch our videos. Um, but yeah, that makes sense. I mean, what you guys say is clearly the thing. But my only concern with this whole thing is, right, like there also seems to be the pattern of the April March pattern where like we fall off the ladder. We fell off like fifth, fourth place the season before. We fell off the title challenge the last season. So is there something that we should be worried about, or is it too early to form a pattern?
uh
I
can I
think
go first? Oh,
Yeah,
go
you
ahead,
go
Dev.
first, Alan. No, please.
See,
Ellen,
my this thing is right. Like, see, there are two reasons for this. One is like this process, right? It has just started. Like, we were like, say, the very
come on,
first year, right? No,
how
no,
can you
I'll
say
say.
this
That is what
process
I'm
has
saying. That is
started?
what I'm saying. No, that is what I'm saying. The very first year when we started, right, we had like a lot of dead goods whom we had to send it out. Then only we can get the personal which Arteta wanted. So last year we were be able to get it, but like it was only for our first 11 or maybe like 2 or 3 players beyond the first 11. See, if you take City for example, even if KDB is out of the season, they have backup for that kind of a player. May not be to KDB's level, but at least 70-80% to KDB's level, which is enough for any team. We don't have such kind of backups like last year. Like say Saliba's injury was a turning point. Like before that, like you could see other players' injury, like or like when Jesus is out for some time, like Nikita has now stepped up like after a few years. But like before, we used to struggle. There is no backup at all. Like when a striker is injured, like we were always in that phase. Even now, like I will not say we are 100% like a City where like for all the position we have good backups, but we are like close to 75-80. So that is what is happening because he has to play the same set of players. So because of which either like they get injured or they get tired. So the fag end of the season, right? Like our performance is not as the same. That being
Mhm.
said, last year was like the best chance for us to win the league. Like with all the other teams like developing now, it will be
Oh,
more of a fight.
wait
Yeah.
till you see the sheet.
No, I'll come there. I'll come there. I know like people
Wait
like
till you,
Aravind.
wait till you, yeah, wait till you see the
I
sheet.
know that. I know, but like I'm just trying to say, like, so it's actually a process which is like slowly developing. But I think we are overachieving with our results. And even like if you say Edu, right, like or like Arteta, they were saying like the previous year when we just missed the Champions League, or like the last year when we were close to title, the target itself was to get to the Champions League, which means like in the top four. But we actually competed for the title and we finished second. So we are ahead. Like the previous year, also we are close to the Champions League. Like the last few games, if you leave out, we should have got the fourth. So we are like overachieving, like in that process. So that is why it is looking like sometimes we are failing. But like I trust the process to go and like we are overachieving. So that is why it is looking that. But definitely, like it's not like in the past where we used to fight and the fag and we struggled, right? It is not like that. It is just because of the process not being complete.
Okay, so let me start with sharing the sheet. Ivan, do you want to add something to that or
No,
no?
I think Ellen covered it. Simple.
Okay.
Quality is got depth. Last season, Saliba's injury was the main thing, I think.
This is exactly
This,
why we
this season will be different. Simple.
this is exactly why we add Ellen, Aben to the group because he's like he will talk in such a small way that I would have so much trouble with coming up with more questions because his answers will be on point and I'm just struggling to come up with more questions. But yeah, this is the sheet that we have been filling, and the surprise that I mean, it's not really a surprise. We had Arvind in the group, and his prediction was that we will go unbeaten. He predicted 32 wins, 6 draws, 0 losses with 105 goals scored, 40 goals conceded, and going unbeaten. The reason he said was because there's the Arsene Wenger statue, we will go unbeaten.
No, the surprise for me is not Aravind saying that. Knowing Aravind, like I'm surprised you have just given 32 wins. Yeah, I expect like more wins from him. But the
38 wins.
surprise is Deepak saying that we'll win the league.
That
To
is
be frank, I
don't
think,
even
yeah, that is the biggest surprise.
don't even get me started. Deepak was like a cloud of rainbows. I don't know what he was, what he did. He is like talking about all like positive things and stuff. And I'm just like, even with the European League, he was going on about like quarterfinal finish. And I'm like, what? Quarterfinal finish? Everyone's saying quarterfinal finish, but it is it is the actual prediction that they did. But Eben, I'll start with you because like I wanna draw your attention to the last season, right? We had 26 wins, 6 draws, 6 losses, finished with 88 points with 43 goals against and finished with 84 points, sorry. And the thing is, like, of all the wins and draws that we had, most of it was, I mean, uh, most of it, as in, like, it's split between home and away. But the problem for me is, do you remember that the season Arteta, Mertesacker, and everyone played, where we had our home as this like fortress where I think we lost once or like something like that. we didn't get that feeling last season. Like home was not our fortress last season.
No, I think if you look at the table, also if you look at the away table as well as the home table, you'll see we have done better in the away table than in the home table. Simple as that.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
home we draw games which we should have won. We've lost few games, so I think home we need to improve. We need to get there. But I think obviously it was not just the home factor. It was, I don't think home factor is a problem anymore because the crowd is. You guys discussed about in the previous discussion about how we've reconnected, the fans have reconnected to the club. So the crowd support is there now. So I don't think there's no specific reason why we are losing at home. It's just that I think injuries or some other factors, but we just need to play better and win because most of the title winning teams, if you look, they've got a very strong home. Basically, they're close to unbeatable at home, and that's what we need to be along with our good away record, we need to shore up our at home, the results at home, and then I think we should be good.
Hmm. But at home, I'll ponder more about it at home with you. Um, do you think it's the factor of the players being new? Last season, I mean, we didn't have like a lot of new players, but we were playing a different brand of football last season from the previous seasons and stuff. And also, do you think the impact of what happened to Shaka with our fans somehow get got into the nerves of other players? Tricky question, I know, but do you think that's even possible? You know, what happened with Xhaka and the fans, like that was something that has not happened at Arsenal. Do you think,
Uh,
oh, if I played bad, this could happen to me? Did that get into players' psyche?
can I interfere?
Yes, yes, go
Because
ahead.
I'm going to be controversial or like I'm going to be against whatever you're speaking so far, Vijay.
Okay.
Last year, if you see the stats, right, we lost
Mhm.
just 2 home games and we lost 4 away games.
No, I
Just
mean,
because that's
mhm,
what I'm saying. It was not that bad. Like we draw 3 and lost 2. I think
uh-huh.
one of them was with City. So it is not as bad as you look. We won like 14 out of the 19. The thing is like we lost few games, like as Eben correctly said at the beginning, to like I think to Southampton we drew or lost. So such kinds of games is
Good
what
thing is,
like
Arun pointed out there is no Southampton from next
yes,
season.
that is what
So,
no, that is what I'm going to say. Southampton used to be always our bogey team. So if you see the record, right, it's actually good. 14 out of 19, or you can say like just 2 losses out of 19, right? And you're out. The only reason why it looks like bad for us was because like the away form was lot better than we usually have. We
hmm,
lost even only 4 away, and like we won 12. So that is the reason why the home looks bad relatively, because we have never seen away like that, because we were confident on our away games rather than home games. There were like a lot of close games which we have won in home. So that is why like it looks like home games we always struggle because we didn't have that confidence. But stats wise, if you see, right, we are still good at home games, and with no Southampton teams like this year, we'll definitely improve on our record on our home games. So home is still a fortress according to me.
hmm, that is
I'm going
actually
by the
true.
data, like being the FPL guy, right? I always
Okay.
have to go by the data.
Okay, but that still okay, we'll start with Eben then with the predictions. Eben, if you have to start with if I the numbers, let's say wins, draws, losses, goals scored, goals against point position for Arsenal.
Oh yeah. I'll start with again 32 wins.
What? Are
32
you going
wins,
against?
four. Yeah.
Okay,
32
32.
wins, four draws and 2 losses.
Okay, not predicting the season for
Not an invincible season.
not an invincible season, even with Arsene Wenger statue. I mean, you are the stadium going fan among us. How excited are you to go and see like Arsene Wenger statue there?
Oh, very excited. So fortunately, I've got tickets for I think the first home game, Nottingham Forest. So I'm looking forward to be there
Hmm.
and obviously see the Arsene Wenger statue in person. Obviously, we've all seen the pics, so definitely looking forward to it. I think big time. Arsene Wenger deserves all the plaudits that are going his way, and he definitely has to be immortalized outside the Emirates. It was
Hmm.
literally him and his hard work, which probably got us to Emirates. So him outside over there will be perfect.
Take a lot of pictures, videos, and everything, and send it to us. But
Definitely.
No, maybe
but
he can do a small 5 minutes video which you can put it in the pod.
yeah, he's gonna do that. It was supposed to be a surprise, Ellen. Oh my. But anyways, you say 32 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses. That's 100 points. You think we can do a centurion at this point?
Why not? See, we did very well. Like Ellen said, we're ahead of the curve. We're doing very well. And on top of that, what we've done is we've added quality additions. It's just not adding numbers. It's quality additions to the squad. And I
But
think we can go that extra mile now.
we have to play City twice, Liverpool twice, Manchester United twice, and still you're saying Chelsea twice, and still you're saying that we are going to get like 4 draws and 2 losses.
Yeah, see, United probably one of the draws. Two losses for me are against City. I still think we've got a way to go to beat them.
Both the games
But
losses, but
yeah,
we will win both the
probably.
games at like Liverpool. Will win or draw win games at Liverpool.
I think again against Liverpool, I think previous seasons we've been a little scared maybe, but I don't see that anymore. I think with City that is still there, but I think we'll do well this season.
Okay. Are you going to predict like goal scores and like goals
I
assists?
think again a century of goals and
Century of
probably
goals.
35 conceded.
Wow. I think that's the lowest that anyone predicted. Like 35 goals conceded. Do you have that much confidence in our defensive unit, or is it because like you're in a high?
No, I think I have confidence. The, like I think all of us mentioned last season, we faltered because we lost Saliba and we didn't have squad depth in that position. This season that changes with Timber coming in. You can play Timber or White up there when Saliba is not there. Or if fingers crossed, touch wood, that doesn't happen at all. But yeah, I think we've got a very good defensive unit. With the new addition of Timber as well as whoever's been there, they've been playing together for at least a season now, some even longer. So I think we've got a good defensive unit. I think we'll do very well defensively.
Does 100 points get you the title? Is the question.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And if Arsenal
I'm being optimistic. My predictions are all coming from my heart, not from my head. So I'll go with the heart rather than the head for now. So I'll go with an Arsenal followed by City, Liverpool, and probably United.
Not
I'd
like
love for
the
them. I'd love
not
for them to not to be in the top four, but then I think they will be.
So there is only one person who didn't predict United to be in the top 4. That was Akash. No, Hemant predicted that. Hemant predicted. We didn't have Akash yet. Yeah, Hemant predicted that, and he also ended that with fuck Manchester United. So I think you are not on that team. But if like relegation wise, it's not that difficult to predict the relegation in my viewpoint. But everyone also predicted Everton being relegated. Do you think Everton will be relegated next season?
Everton have got their own problems, and I don't think we've seen a lot of new faces coming in, right? So,
Mhm.
and they've been a candidate for relegation for the last 2 seasons, right? Even the last season, if I'm not wrong, they just
Scraped
got
by, yeah,
through.
last
Yeah,
game or
so
something. Yeah.
I'm not surprised people have put Everton, but then for me, I'm not quite sure. They do have quality players also, so if required, they can. I'd probably put Luton, Sheffield, and Bournemouth itself. Like I think Hemant has put.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. I have one more point to discuss, but I will get back to that. Ellen, I'll put you on the spot. What is your prediction?
I think like I might be the pessimistic guy out of all the people
Yes,
you have met so far.
yes, I want that because I am a
Okay.
pessimistic guy and I am going like, why the fuck is everyone predicting so high for Arsenal?
Okay, mine will be like 27 wins. I'll say the reasons after I predict.
Mm-hmm.
27 wins, and then like I'll go for like 7 draws,
Okay.
and then there will be 4 losses.
Okay. That will come up
Yeah,
to what? Wait,
81, 88,
my 27
88,
wins. Okay. And
88.
88. So, okay. That is actually realistic.
Yeah,
And
the
goal
reason
score.
is
Okay.
like we have to replace Zaka.
Yes.
So the initial month, right, August or like for some part of September, we might struggle missing him,
Mm-hmm.
like against the Premier League team. So there could be few draws because of that, and like we might like not win at the start. So that is why, because see, Zaka, for 2 reasons, like we'll miss him this season. Hopefully, a rise covers one of the things. Whenever our team was struggling, right, last season, even in the second half or like in the first half, like some matches wherever Zaka was the one who was pushing the entire team. So that is one area like I'm little bit worried this season out of all the things. And second reason why I'm also still like not saying more wins is because see the games where it is like not going our way, right? You need that special player like to shine on their own. All our players, right? They are collective team players. We don't have individual superstars for
You don't
such
think
kinds of
Kai
situations.
Havertz is going to be a superstar?
No,
I'm
again,
kidding.
like whatever Arteta style or the process, everything is like more collective team, which is good. But like you also need somebody. See, I can say Saka is that superstar, but like we don't have a backup for his position. So it will be like the second half or this
Reece
thing, like he
Nelson.
might be tired.
Answer
That's
there.
what
Reece Nelson.
we'll have to see how Nelson plays. Like at this moment, right? I feel like that is one position where we don't have a backup. Similarly, right? I still see like for see maybe Kai Havertz or like Declan Rice might play it very well, but I still see like Zaka's area how we are going to fill. I have some questions now, but like I have confidence on the team and like I have confidence on the players. So I think we will definitely like do very well in the second half and like after the initial hiccups. So, but that initial hiccups, right, means like we will not win as much as others have predicted because
Mhm.
of the late finish last season and everything, right? Like the preseasons were not that much games as it used to be in the past, or there is not much training so that the teams can like gel together. So that will happen in between the season, like or at the beginning of the season. So I like the first 2 3 game weeks. Luckily for us, the fixtures are easy. But like when I take the first 6 or 7, right, I see 2 or 3 games which we might win, we might draw.
Wait a minute. 27 wins and 7 draws gets you 95 points, isn't it?
No, 27 into 3 is like 81, and like
Yes.
7 draws 7, right? 81
Oh,
plus
7.
7,
Yeah,
80.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, my mistake.
Yes.
Yes. My
So
math is
definitely we'll
very
improve
bad.
to compare like last year. And my 4 losses are like one with City, the other one we might win or loss in home. The away we might lose. And then with like other big teams, right? Like we might lose one.
Hmm.
And then like always like with some relegation team or some unknown teams, right? We might
Burnley.
lose or
Burnley.
like
We
so
have
that is what
Burnley.
that is what I'm saying. So we might lose 1 or 2 there. So that is why I've gone for 4 losses. But like
Goal
not like
scored.
last year, like where like with City, like and I think like out of the 2 games with Liverpool, we'll definitely win one. The
Goal
second one
scored.
might be
Goal
a
scored.
draw or a
Goal
loss.
scored.
Yeah.
Goal scored. Goal scored.
Goal scored, I think we might score like we might cross 100. So I you can put it as 1 or 2.
What? One
This
or
season,
two.
I expect us to score more.
I mean, we scored 88 goals, Dylan, and that
Yes.
had like, almost 15 goals from Odegaard, 15 goals from Martinelli, 15 goals
It will
from
again be the same.
Saka.
It will
Uh,
again be the same. And like with Trossard and Havertz, right? I expect even more goals because see, Havertz for all his things, right?
you
He'll
are
be right.
expecting Odegaard to score another 15 goals this season.
Yes, either he will score or assist for the others. His numbers like goals plus assist, whatever he got last time, right? It will be very similar to that this year.
It's 22 last time, 15
That's
goals
what I'm
plus
saying.
7 assists.
It might be like 7 goals and 15 assists. It could be like whatever thing. It could be more assists this time, but I expect it around that same level.
But our defensive unit scored like, and scored
Set
and
pieces.
assisted like 20 goals last
Yes,
season.
yes. See, the same personals are there. So why do you think that like we won't score with our defensive people?
Okay, okay. And goals again.
I
How
think
many?
we might do a 39. We
Okay.
might break that 40 barrier this time.
Wow. Okay, that's bold. So will 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 88 points get us the title?
No, City will win.
Mm-hmm.
We will come second.
Okay.
Liverpool third, and United will be fourth with the recent addition and Ten Hag's results.
Okay. Hmm.
But
Uh,
that was a close one. Like I was thinking many teams for that fourth.
Newcastle.
Newcastle, or even like say Chelsea, we never know. If the players whom they clicked, right, they can also nick that fourth.
Relegation. Your favorite leagues out of the way. So what's the relegation
Yeah.
going to be like?
So like Luton and Sheffield for sure.
Okay.
Third team, right? Like Bournemouth looking like having a lot of issues now. So
Mhm.
they might just pick Everton and be the third team. Because of that reason only. I don't think like they are in a mind to compete this year in leagues itself.
Hmm. Okay. So
That's
one
why Bournemouth.
question, and I need like both of you to answer it, and within a minute kind of answer. What would be the breaking point? Like, will you say if Arteta does this, then he would be either like a legend for the club, or he would if Arteta doesn't do this, he will be there will be Arteta out slogan. What is that one point that could happen during the season? Ellen, I'll start with you.
If he wins the Champions League, he's a legend. As simple as that. Because even Wenger has not
That's
done that.
that's a huge ask, but I'm talking from a Premier League
Uh,
point, right? Like if he does this, he would be a legend. If he doesn't do this, it would be Arteta out.
See, again, as we said about the process, right? Like him competing for the title or even winning the title, right, is not going to make him as a big legend. Yes, like it's a very big improvement and like a very important target achieved. But like to become a legend, like he has to do what Wenger did and Invincibles.
I mean,
Again,
Arvind did predict an invincible, so
yeah. And the same way, like say for him, the Arteta out will also be the only case like where he gets relegated. It's like
you
this
don't think
extreme or that extreme because like see, it's a process. Sometimes
you
like
don't think
the matches will
if we
go.
don't finish in top four or like we finish third,
No,
fourth, we would
see,
not
so
be
that's what I'm
Arteta out.
saying. Sometimes, right, like injuries and other things are not within your hand.
Mm.
But like we will see. See, that doesn't mean like say if I say Arteta out, I won't be like a critic like, or like this thing. Like it's not this extreme or this thing. If he doesn't do well or like makes mistake, I'll be the first critic. You don't have to worry on that. But like to be an Arteta out, right? Like only thing is like relegation and like to consider him as a legend. Like maybe if you're asking me like whether he has grown or up or like grown down, like whether he has like a good progress report or a bad progress report, I can give various reasons. But you're asking for legend and art out, which are like extremes. So I have to give extremes only.
Okay, Eben, same question.
For me, Arteta out is out of question. Not valid scenario for this
Oh,
season. Whatever happens,
Arteta Stan.
whatever
Eben
happens.
is. We are going to
Yeah.
add this as Arteta Stan Eben.
No, it is something
And
like AKB, right? It's like a different version of AKB now.
so basically, yeah, like I said, Arteta out is out of question. Not possible this season. Whatever happens, he could have an off season, like Ellen said, but yeah, still, I think he's done enough to warrant one off season if that happens. And in terms of a legend, I think if he wins the Premier League, I wouldn't say he'll become a legend, but then close to that. Even winning a Premier League or a Champions League, either of them winning is enough. Because if you look at how many managers have won Premier League for Arsenal, it's not a very big list. So, what last manager was Wenger, before that George Graham. So it's not a very big list. So if he wins the Premier League, which we haven't won in ages now, for me, that's enough.
Okay, so let's quickly go to the European competition. Yeah, last season we didn't focus on it, which to me was a mistake, right? Like we could have done something about it. We could have had a cup at the end of the season, but we did not. But we are in Champions League after ages. We are in the competition that we want to be in. And but as usual, it's difficult. It's not going to be, at least for me, it's not like we'll come in and win the Champions League right away. Of course, Arvind felt the other way around. He felt that of the Premier League, Champions League, and FA Cup will win 2 out of 3. That was this bold prediction. But if I have to ask you, Eben, like Champions League, where do you think we will finish?
Semi-finalists.
I think I would have to put you and
Well, then,
Arvind in
just,
two
just,
different groups.
just think about it. Just think about it. Our team now, the way we performed last season with the additions now, I wouldn't say there's a big gap between the top European sides. There is still a gap with a team like City. But then if you look at the top European sides, the Madrids, the Barcelonas, the Bayern Munichs, I don't think there's a big gap, to be frank. That's why I've predicted a semi-final finish for us. We can beat them on our day. And I think maybe a few years back, if you go 5-6 years back and all, there was a big gap between the top sides and us. But it's not like that now, at least at this moment. That's why, that's my reasoning for a semi-final finish.
Ellen, Champions League.
I'm like a little confused here because with our squad, right, I also think like we might become a semi-finalist. But there is another factor I'm looking into. Like if you see, right, leave that FA Cup triumph which we got using complete defensive tactics and like Aubameyang like scoring again. So if you leave that out, right, Arteta's cup record is bad. And that too,
Yes.
when we see double-leg tie, right, like he has not done well. Maybe something there's a block there, or like something he has to change. Yes, we have got some personal for that, mainly this time. So I think we might like lose it out in round of 16.
Yes. At last, one
Because
person
of that
who's
reason.
going to voice my opinion because
No,
everyone
because
said
of
like
that reason.
quarterfinals.
Yeah, because of
Okay.
that reason. Like, but like squad wise, when I see, right, like we should definitely, like as Aben said, like we can compete with any team in the Europe. But like that factor, the second half of the season where like players will get tired and like Arteta's like bad, like hopefully like it changes and like I'm proved wrong. But like my gut feeling is like we might lose it in round of 16.
If we lose it in round of 16 and we finish second, will that be a decent season?
Decent
Yeah.
season, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
like I'm okay with that actually.
Okay. So
Because see, finishing second to this City team is not
yeah.
crime.
One last question, and I want like one word answer for it, right? Oh, what was the question? I have a brain fat right there. But oh yeah. So the last question I have is how confident are you both in terms of like if I have to ask you to rate how confident are you with us going into the season right now on a scale of 10, how confident are you with Arsenal going into the season right now? Ellen, how confident are you on
9.
a scale of 10? Oh, okay. Wow. Eben, scale of 10, how confident?
Probably 8.
What? You predict 100 goal, I mean 100
No,
point
you're
season.
talking about the confidence now, right? I think it'll build up over the season. Yeah, at the moment, an 8.
Okay, that's great.
No, it could also be a reason like I'm expecting like us to struggle at the beginning and then go. So I'm confident on the team more. So and even wanted to start at the beginning itself like firing all cylinders. So that could be a reason why like he's predicting an 8 and
Nervousness with Eben.
yes.
There's nervousness, but I think we've got enough firepower to scrape through even the start of the season. So
Yeah, our fixtures are good. Like that's the only thing like that can save us like with all these
So I think that is the end of the episode. That is our predictions. That is our end of the whole Royal Rumble of huge predictions of stuff. So if you guys still haven't seen the sheet, it's still in the description. Go ahead. There's the season predictions. You can just add. There is people added already. So if you want, you could add your season predictions to it, and it'll be we could discuss on it. And if you want to reach out to us, and you can reach out to us in any ways, social platform, comments, anything. Uh, and please keep supporting. That's all we ask for. Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining. See you next season, next game. Bye.
thank you. Bye bye.